But Nifty, we are off to a good start, thank God. We're off to a decent start in the Bank Nifty, off to a decent start even for auto stocks. So Tata Motors DVR, Tata Motors, let's stay with that please. You want to stay with that because that is going to be the most important talk. No, now Tata Motors is jumping. That is interesting one. The pre-open rates were different and now Tata Motors DVR is obviously 15-16% higher. So it's a decent start, I would say. L&T, Tata Motors DVR. You've got to look at some of those stocks in terms of the positioning of the stock. Then you want to look at largely numbers where in Indigo, yes, let's not lose sight of Indigo. The news cannot be substantiated in terms of the impact it will have in terms of EPS, but surely if there are going to be more scrutiny and the DGC audit is going to be there, then that means less fleet availability, more fair to more cost impact as far as the ticket pricing is concerned, considering that bulk of the fleet of Indigo is right now using Pratt & Whitney engines. Aisha?
Yeah, absolutely. So, those are a couple of stocks which are in focus. Let's see what L&T as well is up to. The Q1 numbers, of course, were above the estimates. Order flow was up 57%. And it's a 10,000 crore rupee buyback, the first of its kind from L&T. 3% higher for L&T, nearly 2631 is where that stock is as we speak right now. Tata Motors, of course, like Nikunj already highlighted, that's the other stock in focus. And surprisingly, you're not seeing much of a fall coming in on Interglobe Aviation. A lot of other numbers as well. You've got UTI AMC, the revenue has risen 55.5%. NII uptake of about almost 10% on a sequential basis, a gap up move for UTI. There's Ajmera Realty, blowout set of numbers. Net profit higher by 82%. Amber Enterprises, the EBITDA has jumped up 33%. Margin rise of 240 odd percent. So these are a couple of stocks which are in focus. There's Man Infra, CEAT as well, which has seen a margin improvement for a fourth straight quarter. Triveni Engineering has come out with its numbers. Suntec Realty has come out with good numbers, and the pre-sales value or rather pre-sales sales has ridden about 16%. Collections though have been flat. Suntec holding up 1.5% thereabouts as we speak. On the same hand, you've got some disappointing numbers coming in from Cyient. We're going to be chatting with the management as well. The margins have come in flat, 14.7% on a sequential basis. SBI Life, the VNB margins are below the estimates. So that stock as well must be in the red. SBI Life will just come up for you on your screens. SRF, they expect weakness in the packaging business in medium term. The analysts have cut the revenue estimates. This is, of course, a known story. So a second consecutive day of a fall coming in on that stock, down by about 1%. Let's see where Canfin Homes has settled in at after the fraud estimated around 38.5 odd crore rupees. Canfin Homes, even after the management clarification, stock continues to bleed about almost 7% there. There's Dixon Technologies, and I want to see what Delta Corp is up to. The numbers, of course, have been very good, but unfortunately, the GST, demarcation came by only at the fag end of the quarter. The quarter gone by, the operational performance is not going to capture the impact henceforth of that 28% GST. We're, of course, going to be chatting with the management as well shortly on what they make of course, the earnings and the impact of this 28% GST. Delta Corp, though, is at 190 thereabouts, so pretty stable, you'd have to say. As is the start for the Nifty as well. At 19,722, it's a marginal uptick coming in. So it's a stable start all in all. But Kunal, how do you think the rest of the day is going to pan out, and what trades are you punching in right now?
Yeah, I think it's a stable start for the index. Again, similar cues, the market is getting in more specific towards certain set of stocks which are riding on the back of news flow, Tata Motors, PEL, L&T, etc. There's initial buzz of activity over there. In terms of the opening trade, I think HUL could actually be a good contra bet at current levels. The stock has fallen by 200 odd points in the last 3 weeks of the July series. It's now come back into an oversold territory. So from a contra perspective, I think at 2570 odd levels, HUL could be a good contra buy.
Okay, watching out for HUL. That's a stock that Kunal is punching in as his first trade. Let's get in a take from you then, Naresh. Flat for the markets. The likes of L&T, Tata Motors, Infi taking leadership. Are any of these one of your first trades?
So going a little contra, Axis Bank, which is a risk-reward trade, a stop loss at 945, closer to the support levels, could reverse from here. So expecting a bounce back on Axis Bank.